The topic of my PowerPoint presentation is aggression in early childhood social development, social emotional development. And the first question that I would like to answer is why in early childhood? Early childhood is defined by a series of developing interactions between children and their social environment that have substantial impact on children's ability to handle the increasing demands that characterize social adjustment throughout primary school. Social skills developed in early childhood have substantial impact on later school success. Understanding the development of negative behaviors, such as aggression, is critical to later intervention attempts. What can negative social behaviors lead to? They can lead to peer rejection, a lack of friends, low levels of social participation. I would like to give two definitions of aggression. The first one was retrieved from our textbook by Travis Smith. Aggression is defined as any physical or verbal behavior that is intended to harm or threaten another. A more specific definition is given by Coy and Dodge. Aggression is defined as any behavior intended to hurt, harm, or injure another person. It is necessary to distinguish between aggressive and non-aggressive behaviors. Rough and tumble play, such as wrestling, play fighting, and friendly jostling may lead to social competence. Tease and play is common in interactions in some cultures, such as children of historically underrepresented groups. Assertiveness is not the same as aggression. It is the first step on the way to child self-esteem. And arguments can normally be settled verbally. Conflicts do not necessarily involve aggression. So rough and tumble play, tease and play, assertiveness, and conflicts and arguments are non-aggressive behaviors. When is adults' interference required? It is required only if it is true aggression. We shouldn't deprive children of opportunities to solve social problems independently. Forms of aggression. First of all, it is necessary to distinguish between verbal and physical aggressions. Verbal aggression is intended to harm others psychologically. A few examples could be taunts, teasing, threats, and cruel statements. Physical aggression. Examples of physical aggression could be biting, hitting, pushing, and kicking. Other examples of physical aggression would be pinching, punching, and the forceful taking of objects. In line with Shaw, a link considers behavior that may cause physical harm to objects or animals as aggressive. So aggression can be directed towards objects, people, and animals. From a developmental view, physical aggression is relevant from an early age, whereas verbal or relational aggression are less applicable because of limitations in cognitive skills. Forms of aggression. Besides physical and verbal aggression, Ostroff and Crick define relational aggression when the relationship of friendship serves as the means of harm. A few examples would be malicious gossip, lies, or secrets that are spread, or the victim of relational aggression is intentionally ignored in case of silent treatment. According to Coy and Dodge, physical aggression is common during early childhood when emotion regulation and language capacities are not fully developed. Some studies indicate that physically aggressive behaviors such as hitting, kicking, and biting occur as early as around the first birthday. increase and peak during the second and third years of life, and decline in the fourth year of life. Tremblay suggests that physical aggression in infancy is a natural way of expressing anger, and most children learn to regulate this behavior as they grow older. Those who do not will be at risk for becoming antisocial later in life. Research conducted by Pettit-Clark and Tremblay are suggestive of the fact that if a child does not learn to control his emotions in early childhood, there is a possibility later in school he will deal with oppositional defiant disorder, conduct disorder, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That is why it is extremely important to identify early symptoms of aggressive behavior and start preventive intervention for these disorders as early as possible. Several findings reveal that boys are more physically aggressive to peers than are girls, whereas girls are more relationally aggressive than boys. Crick and Ostroff suggest that both physical and relational aggression are associated with concurrent and future social psychological adjustment problems. Functions of aggression. Psychologists distinguish between aggressive behaviors displayed in response to a perceived threat and motivated by hostility and anger in case of reactive aggression, and aggressive behaviors displayed to serve a goal-directed end, proactive aggression. Children who are reactive are more predictable in their aggressive behavior. They are at less risk of being rejected. Children who exhibit proactive aggression hardly make long-term friendships. Instrumental aggression acts have a goal, for example, to get a toy. Bullying is a hostile aggression. It stems from rage or upset. This type of aggression leads to peer rejection more than any other type of aggression. What factors influence the development of negative behavior such as aggression? Maturationists would support the idea that some children may have simply inherited a negative or difficult disposition that inevitably leads to problematic peer relations. There has been conducted a study in which twins were found to be very similar to one another in their tendency to be aggressive. Psychoanalytic theories, specifically the ones developed by Freud, would also view aggression as part of a child's biological inheritance. It has also been discovered that genetics is the greatest determinant of aggression among girls, and boys' aggression is more influenced by environmental factors. According to Banderer, people are not born with deformed repertoires of aggressive behavior. They must learn them in one way or another. More specifically, Banderer's social learning theory states that children learn specific behaviors such as aggression through imitation and reinforcement. And Patterson describes child aggression as a result of family-based reinforcement processes. Environment can contribute to it. The child's interactions with parents determine how aggressive drives are expressed. Children who are physically punished or abused by parents are likely to exhibit aggressive acts towards their peers. Children who are exposed to violent TV shows may become aggressive themselves. Bonica and others' research suggests that high socioeconomic states children and those with more developed language capacities who may have more access to various types of media are more likely to understand and model these behaviors in the future. Cognitive developmental theorists believe that some children are aggressive because they do not understand social situations. They may misinterpret the intentions or actions of peers, or may be unaware of the consequences of their social initiatives. And they may not realize their unawareness may lead to peer rejection. Deception is associated with aggression too. Research conducted by Bussey revealed that by 48 months, children have a rudimentary ability to distinguish between lies and the truth, and children as young as 36 months are capable of using nonverbal behaviors to deceive others. Psychologists have theorized the important role that deception or lying behavior play in the course of antisocial behavior and physical aggression. Deception or lying behavior are considered the foundation for aggressive behaviors. Ostroff, Fries, and others suggest that engaging in either physical or relational aggression may promote the use of deception to avoid detection, retaliation, or punishment.